So Love Me Tender, Elvis's first movie, 1956. So he's about 21 when this movie comes out. Obviously because of the time, it's in black and white. Straight off the bat, I would probably give this film about an 8 out of 10, which is probably quite generous, but we're early in the series of all the movies Elvis did. And the story is pretty good. The acting is pretty good. Everything, it keeps you guessing what's going to happen next. The movie basically features a love triangle between Clint, played by Elvis, Vincent, and Kathy. So this is our three main characters. Basically, the story is kind of like the movie Brothers, but Love Me Tender came first. So the film starts off with a big long strings intro version of Love Me Tender. There's a lot of trains in the movie, kind of old type steam trains. It's Civil War, post-Civil War type of film. It's directed by Robert D. Webb. Basically, there is a band of 4 guys who don't know the war is over. They come across some money. There's 3 brothers. Elvis didn't go to the war. Clint didn't go to the war. So they come across some money. It's about $4,000 that they split between them. So they each get about $1,000 each, which at that time is a lot of money. And they have a bit of moral discussion. Should they take it? Should they not? Vince is kind of against it. He gets convinced to take it. So they take it. They shouldn't have taken it. It's illegal, but they took it. So they end up going home. The war is over. They find out the war is over. Vince was romantically involved with Kathy at home. So he goes home expecting to propose to Kathy and become romantically involved for the rest of their lives. However, he gets home and his brother Elvis / Clint is now married to her. They thought that he had died in the war. There was a report home that the brothers had died in the war. So there becomes a dispute. Vince takes this very well to start with. He's fine by it. He lies to Clint and says that he was never romantically involved with Kathy and they just fancied each other. From there, things seem okay. Elvis does Love Me Tender and he does all the moves. He does some of his acoustic guitar work. They're having a good time. He's met back up with his mum. She also thought they were dead. The whole town thought they were dead. The brothers were dead. They were called the Reno brothers. That's the second name of the family. So, including Elvis, they're all back together. There's a wee sing-song. Love Me Tender happens, title of the movie, and then they all go to bed. When they go to bed, Kathy is having what she says is nightmares, but she's thinking about Vince and the situation where they have lied to Clint, who's Elvis, that they said they were not romantically involved, but they were. Okay, so she doesn't want to be married to a man while someone she was romantically involved with is living under the same roof. So she's got a decision. Does she just keep it stum, don't disturb the peace, or does she be honest and let Elvis know what really happened? So she has some romantic conversation with Vince, the brother, Elvis's brother, about why they're not telling him. So basically Vince is putting up a fight that he doesn't want to tell Clint, Elvis, about the romantic involvement before he left for the war, whereas Kathy does. They have a back and forth throughout the film, whether they're going to tell him. But at the same time, in the background, you've got this whole money situation running. The town sheriffs, police, cavalrymen find out that the money has been taken, and they have been told from witnesses that it was the brothers. Elvis isn't involved in this, Clint isn't involved in this, but it's the brothers who were involved in the army, including Vince. They are then arrested because they deny taking the money, but they did, and they're taken on a train to be arrested and stand trial and be shown to the witnesses. They were bearded in the war, so they think they will not be recognised as of now clean shaven. While this is happening, the Reno family home is approached by 3 other men who were in the war with the Reno brothers, who are friends with them. They recognise Kathy from Vince having photos of her and saying that he's going to marry her when he gets home. They want to free the brothers, but they don't let on that they want to free the brothers to then take the money from them, as they know they took the money. They siege the train with Elvis, manage to get Elvis's brothers off of the train, and they escape. From there, the 3 men who came to visit Elvis convince Elvis that there was a romantic involvement between Kathy and Vince spoke about Kathy all the time. They say to Elvis, make him really jealous, to say that Kathy and Vince have ran off. They're missing at this point, and they say that they've ran off with the money, and Vince has collected all the money from the other brothers and has basically ran away with Kathy romantically, and they're going to have all this money together. Elvis's character switches instantly in this movie. He's very soft-spoken, very easygoing the whole film. At this point, he ends up, it's pretty good acting from Elvis, to be honest. He was never rated as an actor, but in this movie, it's a lot better than a lot of acting we see now. He is raging, he is fuming. He basically goes on a rampage, straight away on the horse. He's got the cowboy hat on, and he's after Kathy and Vince to find out what's going on. The other men go with him, but the other Reno brothers are convinced this isn't what's happening. They know that Kathy and Vince were romantically involved, but they trust their brother enough that he doesn't want to run away with the money or Kathy. He just wants to run off and be away from the situation that he came back home to. So Kathy is with Vince and they're hiding in a cave. Basically, Kathy's there alone while Vince goes off to... Kathy has the money on her. The two brothers come across her first, and they then ask where Vince is. She says that she'll take them to him. So they go with her, where they're then caught by Elvis and the other men. Elvis is really angry at this point and starts interrogating her, throwing her around and asking her where Vince is, and trying to make her to confess that she loves Vince. He's upset, saying that the whole time they were in bed together she was thinking of Vince, and that she doesn't want him, she wants Vince. So the brothers of it now step in, take Elvis away from her, and say to Kathy, if you go back to the cave, we know Vince will come back, so we'll tell the others that you're going home, and then we'll come and get you later. So everything seems fine. She goes on a horse, she's going to go back to the cave, Vince will come back and they'll explain everything. The other men overhear this, that Elvis is now sided with, and tell Elvis they are lying, she's not going home, she's going to the cave and Vince is going to be there. So they follow after them. They get to the cave and Vince is there, and Elvis is hiding behind the rock. At this point, he is past the point of anger. He has seen Vince, and the whole journey has been a jealous, blind rage. He holds Vince at gunpoint. Vince tries to reason with him and say, listen, I don't want anything to do with this. But Kathy has the money on her, and she's managed to blind a lot of folk that she doesn't, even the cavalry who was looking for her. She does well doing that. So at this moment, Elvis has then got the devil on his shoulder, this guy who's saying to him, he's lying, he's not telling you the truth, he's double crossing you. And Elvis just doesn't think about it and shoots Vince in the shoulder. Vince goes down as if he's died, and Elvis immediately regrets it, runs down the hill towards him. The other guys then go to loot Vince, and while they're looting Vince, Elvis decides he's not against them as he's killed his own brother, or thinks he has. He then shoots at the other guys and they shoot back, eventually shooting Elvis in the stomach. Elvis goes down. Kathy's on the sidelines at this point watching the whole thing go down, and the cavalry turn up to take away the other men. So the cavalry comes in, they then catch the men that looted Vince, the other men that were in the army, and retrieve the money back. The worst part for any Elvis fan is that Elvis then dies in Kathy's arms while explaining to Vince he didn't mean to shoot him, it was a moment of rage. Vince accepts the apology and Elvis dies. Watching it now from a point where Elvis is dead, the film ends on a really sad point when it shows you the grave and Elvis sings Love Me Tender, a movie version, one last time, and there's a silhouette of Elvis in the corner. This is what rounds the film off quite nicely, and the story does have a lot of turmoil and ins and outs. You've got the money going on and the romantic love triangle going on, as the Elvis films don't get the best reputation. But this one was an enjoyable watch. It could be shorter and some of the scenes are not necessary, but there's good Elvis dancing in it, there's good songs in it, and the whole storyline makes sense. It works itself out. There's stuff there to interact with and to wonder about. So 8 out of 10.